Sing. Whatever my strength is, it is. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as is customary, I wish to extend greetings to the constituents of Choiseul Saltibus who are responsible for me representing them in this honorable parliament. I also want to give thanks and praise, Mr. Speaker, for the strength that has been bestowed upon me by the Almighty to provide servant leadership. Mr. Speaker, there's one thing I've always said. Being in this position will never change who I am, and it will never change my character. I'm elected to serve all the people, even those who did not support me. Mr. Speaker, I note that some colleagues before me chose to quote the Bible. And I have selected a creed which I believe should be for all parliamentarians. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3. And it says, Mr. Speaker, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. And that should be the creed for every single one of us here, Mr. Speaker. And why do I say that, Mr. Speaker? Because, Mr. Speaker, there are some people who believe that they are the parliamentary representative for Choiseul Saltibus. Mr. Speaker, I have always said, Mr. Speaker, that anything that is for the benefit of Choiseul Saltibus, I will support. And so when, Mr. Speaker, I post on my page to the whole of St. Lucia and the world to come to Choiseul to support jazz, Mr. Speaker, and some people believe that I am in no position to post on my page as a parliamentary representative asking people to come to support jazz in Choiseul because Bradley is not the one who's bringing jazz to Choiseul. Mr. Speaker, Choiseul Jazz, there are a number of vendors who will benefit from jazz coming to Choiseul. And I have to support it, and I have to try to ensure that as many patrons as possible come to the community. And I want to tell the Prime Minister something. I want to tell the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, that's my introduction, you'll get your turn. That when he is selecting a candidate, make sure that person is person-centered and not self-centered. Okay? Make sure. Mr. Speaker, in that same spirit and character, I would like to also invite the whole of St. Lucia to come to Choiseul on Friday to support the Choiseul Craft Masters during battle against the Soufre Stumpers. And as our record has shown, Mr. Speaker, excuse me? That is tomorrow evening at 7:30. It is the SPL. And Mr. Speaker, hopefully other members will not speak so much. I'll be able to get out of it. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to, of course, boast about the performance of the Choiseul Craft Masters. Every game that we have played so far, we have been victorious. We defeated the Mikud Eagles, the Babono Leatherbacks, and the Monrepo Pioneers. And the Monrepo Pioneers surely got a terrible whooping, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, come Friday, come support us. And I'm hoping also to see the member for Castries Southeast, because they have the South Castries Lions, Southeast Castries Lions, praying on Sunday at 7:30. So I want to encourage all of you all, Mr. Speaker. Because you see, Mr. Speaker, the people who want to spread hate, I'll tell you one thing what hate does, Hate promotes cancer growth. Okay? And let's stop that, okay? Let's stop, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I would also want to take the opportunity to sympathize with the many families who have lost loved ones. As I've said in the House, in recent times, my community seems to be going through what is locally termed Basil is in the area. And, you know, the most recent death, Mr. Speaker, I want to sympathize with the family of Mr. Matthew Jabatis, better known as Daus, who runs a disco called Why Wonder Disco, or used to run a disco, Why Wonder Disco. One of the first dance halls, or modernized dance halls and bars in the community. He passed away after a brief illness, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as I come to the substantive part of my contribution, Mr. Speaker, and I was telling the member, the member in charge of government business, that it would be nice if he could have done what he did for the Prime Minister and give me uninterrupted time to make my contribution. Because there's a lot I want to say, Mr. Speaker, this evening. There is a lot that I want to say. Okay, Mr. Speaker? So, Mr. Speaker, we will start. Mr. Speaker, in reading through the budget address and also listening to the Prime Minister, I am tempted to say, Mr. Speaker, that I believe a significant part of the budget address, particularly what was dealing with the policy proposals, Mr. Speaker, I truly believe, Mr. Speaker, that was AI generated. Mr. Speaker, I believe the Prime Minister and the team went on, is it ChatGPT, and they put in certain parameters as to what do the people want. And the search engine went and followed all UWP meetings. It went and followed all UWP meetings, Mr. Speaker, and it picked out some of the things that we were saying that is required by the people of St. Lucia. So, Mr. Speaker, I will say and I will admit there are things that I support. There are things that I support. There are things that I believe in as well, yes. But, Mr. Speaker, what the reality is, how much discussion, how much consultation, Mr. Speaker, went into a lot of what was put. And why I say that, Mr. Speaker, because this is the Bible of the budget. This is the Bible of the budget. And this does not reflect what the Prime Minister has put down in his proposal. There's no place in that, Mr. Speaker, that I can see what the Prime Minister has put on. So, as has been said in certain quarters, this appears to be a manifesto, Mr. Speaker, and the people of St. Lucia, we should not be fooled by that, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as I said, Mr. Speaker, there are areas that I support, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, let's take a deep dive into the Prime Minister's budget address. Mr. Speaker, I wish to comment on a very early statement in the Prime Minister's address. In fact, in his introduction, the Prime Minister said, and I turn your attention, Mr. Speaker, to page 3 of the Prime Minister's address. The Prime Minister said, Mr. Speaker, my government's first order of business was to arrest the level of waste, recklessness, and corruption. If ever, Mr. Speaker, there was an oxymoronic statement, I believe that was it. And why do I say that, Mr. Speaker? When this government came in, Mr. Speaker, there were a number of projects and work in an advanced stage. And, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister who has been in government for many years, as he said, 6-star general, and also in his professional life, Mr. Speaker, knows that construction is the real engine of growth in our country, and construction can help raise your GDP, Mr. Speaker. So when the Prime Minister and his team comes in, Mr. Speaker, and they stop, Mr. Speaker, the Grosley Highway, does that not qualify as waste, Mr. Speaker? When the Prime Minister comes, Mr. Speaker, and he stops housing development, does that not consider does that not consider as waste, Mr. Speaker?
You didn't stop them?
When the Prime Minister and his team stops the most resilient and modernized hospital in Vieux-Fort, Mr. Speaker, is that not considered as waste, Mr. Speaker? When you have a good sense of humor. When the Prime Minister stops, Mr. Speaker, the work on the airport, Mr. Speaker, isn't that not waste, Mr. Speaker?
Why not? Why not?
Mr. Speaker, this concerns me because I believe, and you know what, Mr. Speaker, why I consider it waste? Because the cost is costing, the cost the country has to pay for all these stoppages. We have heard from the member, the Minister of Housing, that he has to go back to the original contractor and he had to eat his vomit, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this thing is costing us. And maybe, Mr. Speaker, I believe the time has come. The time has come, Mr. Speaker. And I know some members of opposition will say, you were there, I just come. There's some of us there who've been 3, 4-star, 5, 6-star generals, Mr. Speaker. But the time has come, Mr. Speaker, when we need as a country to say stop this thing about stopping projects, particularly when it's worthwhile and value to the country, Mr. Speaker. We have to get to that. We have to get to that stage, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister in his address goes on and he speaks, Mr. Speaker, and I've heard a few of my colleagues speak to, we have achieved the lowest level of unemployment on record, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to turn your attention, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, to page 18, Mr. Speaker, under the Economic and Social Review. But before, Mr. Speaker, the decline, Mr. Speaker, and I'm reading from my notes before I quote the page 18. Before I speak to the Social and Economic Review, I want to read from my notes. The decline in the unemployment rate from 14% in 2023 to 10.8% in 2024 is largely attributable to a reduction in labor force participation rather than a significant risk in employment, Mr. Speaker. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, 4,086 fewer individuals were counted as part of the labor force in 2024. The labor force participation rate fell from 71.6% in 2023 to 69.3% in 2024. And Mr. Speaker, I will also go to page 54 in the Social and Economic Review. But Mr. Speaker, let me read from page 18. Available data, and that's from the Economic and Social Review, Mr. Speaker. Available data show that the overall employment rate fell from 14% in 2023 to 10.8% in 2024, as the labor force decreased by 3.6% due to a lower labor force participation rate to 69.3% from 71.6% in 2023, Mr. Speaker. So when Mr. Speaker, I turn your attention also to page 54.
That's wrong.
So when, Mr. Speaker,
that's wrong. Wait.
Many St. Lucians are asking, but how is the current government indicating that the unemployment rate is so low? And they're asking the questions, but where are the jobs? Where are the jobs that have been created? They've been asking it, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I turn your attention to page 54. Okay? And again, Mr. Speaker, I'll also be duplicating some of the things I said here. the lower participation rate, and I repeat, Mr. Speaker, this lower participation rate was indicative of a larger number of persons opting out of participating in the labor market. Labor force participation for males and females was 76.1% and 63.1% respectively in 2024. Available data show that the number of employed persons averaged 97,354 in 2024. While there was a marginal decrease in the employed labor force in 2024, a larger reduction in the size of the labor force led to a higher employment rate and a lower unemployment rate, Mr. Speaker. I am not the one saying it. So to selectively say that the unemployment rate dropped to single digits, Mr. Speaker, is a half-truth. We have to give the full story, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I will wait for your answer, Honorable Prime Minister. I will wait for your answer. So, Mr. Speaker.
So you're saying it only dropped because the labor force dropped? That's what you said.
What is the question?
Your social economic.
Mr. Speaker, the question I want to ask, Mr. Speaker.
Not him.
Are you agreeing with it?
That's what it says.
Are you
I'm asking the question. That's what it says.
That's disagreeable.
Why are people opting out of the labor force, Mr. Speaker? Why? The question. Discouragement, limited employment opportunities, evolving household responsibilities, or the ineffectiveness of the current minimum wage in incentivizing persons. So, Mr. Speaker, here's the question. Why are persons opting out of the labor market when the government has recently introduced a minimum wage? So everybody should be rushing. Now the people will say, I know I cannot be taken advantage of because the government has implemented a minimum wage, Mr. Speaker. So I'm going to come in that. So, Mr. Speaker, I hope you've taken into consideration the interruptions and the time that you're going to give me. Okay.
4,000 less people. Who are they? Where are they?
So, Mr. Speaker, let's move on, Mr. Speaker.
Where are they? You got the wrong appraisal. You got the wrong one. What's that? Titus? Oh, no problem. But good luck with Claudia.
Mr. Speaker.
Good luck with Claudia. But they replaced you already.
On page 3, Mr. Speaker,
They replaced you already.
of the Prime Minister's address.
Gone.
Lower down.
Gone. Yes.
The Prime Minister says, Mr. Speaker,
He didn't tell you?
during the
He
period,
didn't tell you what happened in Antigua?
we also improved
In Antigua.
citizen security, offered more diverse health services, and kept public debt within manageable levels. Page 3, 1 to 3rd paragraph.
Done.
During this period, we also improved security. Mr. Speaker, you know who I want to answer that question? The citizens of St. Lucia. As citizens of St. Lucia, do we feel safer? Mr. Speaker, people are afraid to Lime.
Go ahead.
People are afraid to Lime, Mr. Speaker. And just yesterday or day before, I heard there was a hold-up at Capet State. So there's no boundaries as it relates to where crime occurs, Mr. Speaker. No boundaries whatsoever. Okay? No. But I am just saying, to say that citizen security has improved so significantly, okay? That is what the Prime Minister is saying, Mr. Speaker. And that's not the case, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to speak to Mr. Speaker. One of the first things that this government did when they came in, Mr. Speaker, was to get rid of the K9 unit. To get rid of the K9 unit. And the Prime Minister, in his list of achievements, he said that, or list of proposals, we will be augmenting the K9 unit. We augmented the K9 unit. I'm not saying that's not true. I am saying, in the first place, why was the K9 unit disbanded Was there a specific window, that we didn't want it, Mr. Speaker? But now, Mr. Speaker, we have put it back because we recognize the benefit of it, Mr. Speaker.
It wasn't working? Ask courts.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister in that same line, he said, offered more diverse health services. In that same line, offered more diverse health services. Mr. Speaker, do you know since this administration came into office, more health centers have been closed? More health centers have been closed. Not as a result of mold and other reasons, Mr. Speaker. Okay? More health centers have been closed. There is an inability, Mr. Speaker, to obtain medication. Lack of beds. We all know it. I hear the stories every day, Mr. Speaker. And the Minister of Health, Mr. Speaker. The Minister of Health, Mr. Speaker, spoke in glowing terms, Mr. Speaker, of so many things. While he was speaking, Mr. Speaker, I got a message. I got a message. A lady sends me a message and she said, "Good afternoon. The minister is bragging, but I am left with a massive bill for medication which was used for my 92-year-old deceased husband at St. Jude's." That's a fact. No, you are bragging that 80-year-olds will not get bills. You say that every day. I mean, every day I'm getting people coming to me with other stories, Mr. Speaker. That's the fact.
That's the reality.
Let's not run away from the fact, Mr. Speaker.
The fiction in the house. Not the fiction in the house.
Mr. Speaker, let's move to page 4. Promises made, promises kept. A heading of one of your promises. Promises made, promises kept. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. And I have told the Prime Minister that on more than one occasion, I have told the Prime Minister that we need to give credit where credit is deserved. We come, or rather, you come to the House and you boast about initiatives as if it's something that you just created. And you should know, Mr. Prime Minister, through you, Mr. Speaker, that a baby is not born overnight. A baby is not born. You know the bureaucracy within the government service, And if I want to use the same analogy that a baby is born overnight, Mr. Speaker, baby has to be nurtured. You have to have medical exams. And it's the same way when you put something out there, Mr. Speaker, how it has to be taken care of. And the member for Sufra tells you how long she's been dealing with the whole cannabis issue. You have to go through the process. So when the Prime Minister says, promises made, promises kept, and he said, we have opened 4 technical vocational educational training TVET schools. You have, yes, but give credit where credit is supposed to go, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I know the Minister of Education will be coming after, so he'll respond. He'll respond accordingly. But Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to a newsletter from the Ministry of Education dated Friday, September 18th, 2020. And I can give you a copy of that. No, Wuda. Earlier this month, the Minister for Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, Honorable Dr. Gail Rigobert, approved a number of vocational training and certification programs prescribed by the St. Lucia Council for Technical and Vocational Education Training, SLC TVET. It goes on, Mr. Speaker. It goes on, competency standards in 9 other occupational areas as requested by the Department of Education were also developed with standards validated by the various industry advisory committees. These areas include building construction, drafting, motor vehicle engine system, general construction, manufacturing sold products, develop a new and existing business enterprise, healthcare service, dietary assistance. In signing of these programs, Honorable Dr. Gail Rigobert congratulated the Central Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training and the Department of Education Unit for developing and launching the new National Vocational Qualification Subjects and the Caribbean Vocational Qualification Subject. In fact, Mr. Speaker, when we left office, Mr. Speaker, there was an implementation team in the ministry for the TVET, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the minister in particular and the Prime Minister, they also boast so much about first generation, Mr. Speaker, as if that was an initiative of this government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I go to another newsletter, March 8th, 2018.
Member, just be careful how you hold the paper because you're blocking the microphone.
Okay.
And it may not be recorded.
Yes, okay. You have it in your ministry. You can get it. March 8th, 2018. I can make it a document of the House if the Speaker insists. A new initiative will provide increased affordability and accessibility to education. Minister for Education, the Honorable Dr. Gail Rigobert, said government remains committed to deliver an education to every St. Lucian citizen, regardless of his or her socio-economic status. The Educate St. Lucia initiative has 8 pillars. ACT initiative, first generation initiative, knapsack drive, lifelong learning, vocational qualification, volunteerism and apprenticeship, career readiness and innovation. So when you come and you speak as if, boy, that is my brainchild, that was there. So stop coming at it that's your brainchild, Mr. Speaker. I will credit the government for seeing it through, but the government has to give credit where it's supposed to go, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I turn your attention to page 11 on the Prime Minister's address. Page 11. The Prime Minister speaks to agriculture. Agriculture, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to you to also turn to page 113 of the Economic and Social Review. 113, Mr. Speaker. And I wish to put some statistics out there. And remember, Mr. Speaker, I am quoting from the Social and Economic Review. This is not my words, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the last full year we had in government was 2020, Mr. Speaker. And the volume of bananas exported, the volume of bananas exports by country, tons. To the United Kingdom, we exported 4,971,300 tons to the UK, and the Caribbean region, the Caribbean region, 3,414,000.6 tons, Mr. Speaker. The year before, which is not in this, Mr. Speaker, 2019, we exported to the UK 11,622 tons, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, when you... No, it's tons, Mr. Speaker. Tons. 11,000. I said 11 million. Oh, sorry, 11,000. 11,000. 11,000. Thanks for the correction. Thanks for the correction. Mr. Speaker, let us compare that export, as I said, our last full year in government, to 2024, Mr. Speaker, where this government exported 7.4 tons to the UK and to the Caribbean region 2,480 tons, Mr. Speaker. In fact, Mr. Speaker, when you convert that into dollars, in 2020, from the UK, we got $9.4 million EC from the UK, and the Caribbean region $4.3 million. And the year before, we're talking about $18.3 million in banana sales, Mr. Speaker. In 2024, Mr. Speaker, would you believe we got no money from exporting bananas to the United Kingdom? None whatsoever, Mr. Speaker. So when we talk, Mr. Speaker, about how much we've been doing for the banana industry, these are the facts, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I will say it in Creole. À l'année 2020, nous te voyé l'Angleterre 4900 tonnes figues. Ton figue. Mais gouvernement SLPA, Mr. Speaker, yo te voyé l'année passée just 7 tonnes fig. 7. It's there in the social and economic review. It's not my words, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, page 114. Mr. Speaker, you know, my good friend, the Minister of Agriculture, he has a heavy crown. I will not deny that he has a heavy crown to him, Mr. Speaker. The issue, Mr. Speaker, is not all what that he's saying that he's giving to the farmers, you know, Mr. Speaker. That is necessary. But the issue is we need a reliable market. And that is why when we come here and we try to ridicule the whole issue of shipping bananas to France. The attempt is being made to source markets. That's at least the difference. That's the difference. We're trying to source markets. Okay? So when we make an attempt, Mr. Speaker, you come to the House and you try to ridicule it. What have you done to get new markets for the bananas, Mr. Speaker? But Mr. Speaker, we have to help the farmers. We have to help the little farmers, Mr. Speaker. And I say that, Mr. Speaker, because while the Prime Minister is out there taking out VAT on many, many items, which is commendable, Mr. Speaker, let us look at the boxes that farmers are using and also look at removing VAT on the boxes. Let us look at that as well, Mr. Speaker. We have to try to help the farmers in every way that we can, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I'm still on the agricultural sector, Mr. Speaker, and I was talking about market, the guaranteed market that farmers need. If you were to take a drive, and maybe you travel there today, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Prime Minister, maybe you travel on the East Coast today. Yesterday, okay. If you travel along the East Coast today, Mr. Speaker, you will see the amount of watermelons that are being sold on our roads. A lot of them. And so, Mr. Speaker, I was so surprised at a particular supermarket. I went and I saw watermelon. It was so big. And there was a label on it. And I went closer and it said, product of Mexico. How is that happening? Where we have so much watermelons being sold on our roads, and we still bring in watermelon from Mr. Speaker, you cannot eject that member from Denry. You know? How can we be saying we're supporting our farmers, Mr. Speaker, when they're hustling by the road to sell watermelons and you're bringing in watermelons? I can understand there are occasions when we don't have, and that's the kind of assessment the ministry is supposed to do. When supermarkets or anywhere come and they ask, they want to bring in items, you have to make sure that it's not available. But don't tell me we have so much watermelons and yet still we bring in watermelons from Mexico. Mr. Speaker, we need to look at that. We need to look at Mr. Mr. Speaker, an area that is very close to my heart, Mr. Speaker, because I like water.
I think he's taking his leave. Sorry, not
I like water, Mr. Speaker. And the Prime Minister spoke to water, Mr. Speaker. Wasco, page 25 in his address. Mr. Speaker, the government of St. Lucia is determined to take measures to solve the issue of an unreliable water supply in some parts of the island. Mr. Speaker, Isn't it passing strange that the Prime Minister at this 4th year in office is making that statement, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, if you want to compare what has been done for the water sector, under different administrations, is chalk and cheese. The past administration, Mr. Speaker, run Northern Pipelines. We completed the Denry project. Two treatment plants in Vieux-Fort, Mr. Speaker, one in Beausejour and one in Greece. We built the administrative building for Wasco, Mr. Speaker, and several holding tanks all over the place, Mr. Speaker, was an initiative of the last administration, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister spoke to,
Right? According to you.
4 recommendations that were made by the World Bank with regards to water. He said the World Bank recommended expanding wastewater and sanitation services, improving efficiencies of water services and augmenting Wasco systems, resources and capacity, water security, and an enabling environment for private capital mobilization. Well, that particular one, you know, we've been there before. So we need to approach down very, very carefully, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister went on to say, Mr. Speaker, the World Bank's assessment clearly indicates that the EC 59 million desilting exercised by the former administration did not serve the intended purpose, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker, I will not spend too much time on that because I believe that a lot of information has gone out with regards to this whole Wasco issue already, Mr. Speaker. But here are the facts, Mr. Speaker. The silting started in 2020 under the UWP administration. And if you want accurate information, Wasco has it, the NERC has it, CDB has it. You can go to any one of these areas and you can get the information, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, the facts have spoken that the dam was heavily silted as a result of in particular free incidents, disaster incident. Tropical Storm Debbie, 1994, Hurricane Thomas in 2011, and the Christmas Eve trough in 2013. Mr. Speaker, the dam has a capacity of 700 million cubic, is that what it is? Gallons, yes. 700 million gallons. But silt, Mr. Speaker, has actually displaced 400 million gallons. So where we had 700 million gallons, we only have 300 million gallons of water now in the dams.
Mr. Speaker.
Member for Castries office.
Mr. Speaker, I rise on 42.6 rules of debate. The member made reference to water tanks being the part of the administration, and I did speak. I spoke in my presentation to a water tank being built in Choiseul. I need to state that this water tank of 100,000 gallons that was recently commissioned was a project conceptualized in 2016 under the Labour Party administration, and the BNTF project cycle takes approximately 5 years. So the column bed water project, water tank of 100 gallons, and the water project that you just commissioned are projects under this administration.
Mr. Speaker, I challenge the member, okay, to go and look at who made the request for the BNTF, under that BNTF for that tank in Choiseul. Who made it? That was made under our administration, Mr. Speaker. And and let me tell you something. When you see I speak, I will speak. Okay? And I will bring documentation, Mr. Speaker, next time we have a sitting of the House, and you will apologize. And you'll apologize, okay? Okay. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll move on. I said, Mr. Speaker, silt displaced 400 million gallons. Mr. Speaker, the studies show that the amount of silt that was in the dam is 1.5 million cubic meters of silt, Mr. Speaker. And the expert indicated it would have taken us 10 years to clear that. The work that was done, Mr. Speaker, was only 1 year work. 1 year work. It cost us $20 million or $22 million to build a disposal pit, and the balance was to do the desilting, Mr. Speaker. Now, obviously, I believe any government would put their hand on their head and say, boy, that's a lot of money to continue spending to desilt. So obviously, it's a nightmare, Mr. Speaker. But this government did not continue any desilting at all, Mr. Speaker. And God forbid we have any major incident, any major disaster, Mr. Speaker. And I've always said maybe the whole issue of Wasco is not sexy enough, Mr. Speaker. But God forbid we have another incident and our level of water in that dam is significantly reduced.
Member
again, Mr. Speaker?
Choiseul, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the section you quoted and what you're saying there, there's no connection. You quoted what he said, the World Bank said.
Yeah, no, Mr. Speaker.
But you're not disputing that.
Mr. Speaker, what he was saying, what the Prime Minister said, is that he said whatever desilting we did not serve the intended purpose.
He said the World Bank said that.
Yes.
So you're disputing that.
I am disputing, Mr. What I am saying, the statement that he made, Mr. Speaker, it could lead to various suggestions, Mr. Speaker, and I wanted to clarify the whole issue. Okay? So, Mr. Speaker, I believe that while the Prime Minister must be commended for the whole, the lines that you want to bring in, the raw water lines, Mr. Speaker, that's commendable, but it should be done hand in hand with a continuous desiltation project, Mr. Speaker, because we could have a major problem on our hands, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my good friend, Equity and Social Transformation. Mr. Speaker, I turn your attention to page 57 of the Prime Minister's address. Page 57, Mr. Speaker. I will read the second line under Equity and Social Transformation. It says, this year, the ministry's allocation was increased by EC 4.5 million from 20 million to EC 24.5 million. Kudos to that, Mr. Speaker. I don't have a problem with that. The problem I have, Mr. Speaker, is that hundreds of people were taken out from the public assistance program, Mr. Speaker. Hundreds of people were taken out from the public assistance program. Now, Mr. Speaker, I cannot verify how much of an in-depth analysis that was done by the ministry to determine who should stay on and who should come out. I cannot. But, Mr. Speaker, this is what I know. This is what I know, Mr. Speaker. What I know is that I have interacted with a number of victims of this, Mr. Speaker. And only last week, Mr. Speaker, I met a wheelchair-borne individual who told me she is leaving it in God's hands.
Member for Cash's office.
Thank you very much. Again, Mr. Speaker, I rise on the Standing Orders 32.6 rules of debate, and I need to clarify this, which that
yeah, but make the point, don't give a speech.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, the assessment of everyone on public assistance was done on the SLNet 3.0. Persons were scored in 4 categories. Category 1.
Remember, but don't you want to rise after his presentation to clarify that? Because you're going to be limited in what you say now, but you can rise later on after his presentation to make a full explanation.
So guided, but I do not want it to continue to mislead the public, Mr. Speaker, and that's my fear.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not misleading. I'm stating the facts, Mr. Speaker, that there are people who were taken out on the public assistance program, Mr. Speaker, and I am not sure what sort of analysis was done. And Mr. Speaker, you see, Mr. Speaker, let me tell you something, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are many of our senior citizens who at one point in their life, they worked very hard. However, Mr. Speaker, they made no nest egg. They have no nest egg. So they may have a house. They may have a house. You may go and see them and they have a house, Mr. Speaker, but they're not working. They have no income. I have gone overseas, Mr. Speaker, and family members give me a little $100 tell me, give that to, share that to different family members. That's not doing anything. And when the ministry looks and says, but your daughter is working or your son is working, they're supposed to, people want their independence, Mr. Speaker. The people have their own commitments, Mr. Speaker. And the other thing too, Mr. Speaker, you know what I have found out? Depending on the Nene power, you have to reinstate you. And I know that for a fact. I know it for a fact. I will not mention names because it's very sensitive to the House, in particular one of them in particular in this House. Okay? I will not mention it, but I can speak to you privately, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, what I am saying is if there's an increase in allocation, Mr. Speaker, and I can tell you something, the three people that I have interacted with regards to the public assistance, and I know there's about 700 people that were removed from this program, okay? But the three people, not in Choiseul, I'm talking about island-wide. Okay, well, you'll clarify. The three people I have interacted with, Mr. Speaker, you know they are all differently able? They're all differently able, Mr. Speaker, and it hurts me. It hurts me, Mr. Speaker, not because the person have a little house, they can't even well pay their current, they can't pay the electricity, Mr. Speaker. So we have to look at that again. We have to do that. You know, Mr. Speaker, there was a conversation we had, you and I had, many years ago. You know what you told me? We must never dehumanize the vulnerable. You told me so. That's your words. So now, what happened? What happened? You remember that conversation? Okay. So, Mr. Speaker, I really wish so that this thing can be revisited, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to comment briefly on the member for Soufrière Fonsejac on her contribution. I thought she made a very good contribution, Mr. Speaker. I will say that with regards to the work being done by the ministry. But, Mr. Speaker, there are a couple of things I would like to raise to your attention, Mr. Speaker. There's always a but. Regarding the Bureau of Standards, Mr. Speaker, and when I was in the ministry, it was one of the things that we were looking at. There should be no product coming into St. Lucia where we cannot read the label. And that is still happening. And we need to look at that. There should be no product coming to St. Lucia where we cannot see what we are consuming, what we are using. And the Bureau of Standards need to be more active with regards to that, Mr. Speaker. The member spoke to the Love St. Lucia campaign, Mr. Speaker, and it's a campaign that was started when I was in the ministry, Mr. Speaker. And I want to support her that we need to encourage all St. Lucians. And I want to speak to the Minister for Tourism, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we give significant incentives to the large hotels. Lots of incentives. And we started the conversation, but I'm not sure where it's now. But we need to ensure, for example, these hotels buy local arts to put on their walls, buy local products to put in there. We need to do that. We're giving them too much, and they cannot support. They bring in everything in bulk from China or wherever, bringing it. We need to ensure that there's something in that clause that we put in with regards to the incentives, that a certain portion of what you're purchasing has to be local. And I hope it's not one of the we don't go into the situation where we have with the chickens. We know what goes on with the chicken situation. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I want to speak to an observation I made in the estimates of revenue and expenditure, And I turn your attention, Mr. Speaker, to page 927, where we discuss grants and contributions to various entities. Mr. Speaker, I notice that we are given $1,814,000.
Member, while I will allow you to proceed, you are aware this is the policy debate, and that the debate on the estimates...
It comes back to that, Mr. Speaker.
But the debate on the estimates is over. But I will allow you some latitude.
I'm reference to this to come back to the policy, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, $1,814,300 paid to the St. Lucia National Lotteries, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker, why I bring that up, Mr. Speaker?
Always be careful.
Why I bring that up, Mr. Speaker? Because, Mr. Speaker,
That's the only person that's
the St. Lucia National Lottery
stop threatening people.
took a loan of $80 million guaranteed by the government to improve sporting facilities around the island, Mr. Speaker.
Honestly.
Mr. Speaker,
Honestly.
it tells me that if the national lotteries have the capacity to take an $80 million loan where they have to pay
You're not a racist.
almost $800,000, Mr. Speaker, a month, or $7.14 million annually. Why is the government giving National Lottery
I'm a racist.
a,
You're not a racist. Why am I?
a grant? And I'm hoping the minister will speak to that tomorrow. I'm really hoping the minister will speak to that tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. So it's just an observation, and I'm hoping that
You have 10 minutes left, member.
10 minutes? Mr. Speaker, you cut a lot of my time there.
Much more time than me.
Hour and half an hour. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't know.
Leader of government business.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to move a motion to suspend Standing Order 32-8 to allow the member from Choiseul, Saltibus, to have an additional 15 minutes to complete his presentation.
Honourable members, the question is that Standing Order 32-8 be suspended and Standing Order 32-10 be invoked to allow the member for Choiseul Saltibus an additional 15 minutes in which to conclude his presentation. And now for the question, as many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Please proceed,
Thank you, colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I did tell you I have a lot to say. So, Mr. Speaker, considering how time flies, I will have to jump forward, Mr. Speaker, and speak to maybe some of the things I believe are critical in terms of bringing to the Prime Minister's attention, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister, in his list of proposals, Mr. Speaker, there are three things he mentioned, Mr. Speaker, that concerns me. One, effective 1st July, NIC will increase pension payments in line with consumer price index. I don't have a problem with that. Police, fire, and correctional officers who have served at least 20 years and reached the age of 55 will qualify for an NIC pension. No problem with that, Mr. Speaker, although, there's a lot I can say about that. And also, Mr. Speaker, I think it was it last year or earlier this year, there was another NIC increased the minimum pension to $500. So, Mr. Speaker, why am I raising that, Mr. Speaker? And I'm not sure, I was joking with the member for Sufra. I said, member, as a former head of NIC, I'm not sure whether the Prime Minister had discussions with you before a lot of these things. Because about 15 years ago, Mr. Speaker, in another place, I remember having conversations with the actuaries of NIC. And one of the things they said to us was, unless something changes, NIC's longevity will go on. We don't have much to go. I think the date they said was 2049 or 2050 or something like that. Yeah, Mr. Speaker. So the options they have, No, they came to a meeting, Mr. Speaker. In fact, okay. The member said they didn't tell me that. Yeah, okay. But we had a meeting to discuss it. But Mr.
He's admitting to it.
Yeah, okay.
He's accepting.
So, Mr. You were at that meeting too? So, no, but Mr. Speaker, it's important, and it's very important what I'm about to say. So, Mr. Speaker, in fact, Mr. Speaker, the 2024 Article 4 report from the IMF also spoke to the national insurance is on a trajectory towards insolvency by 2051. Why am I raising that? 2051. Why am I raising that, Mr. Speaker? I'll tell you why I'm raising that, Mr. Speaker. Because, as I said, they have options. You increase the age, you increase the contribution, and there's a third one. You make sound investments. Okay? So this is why I'm saying sometimes we play politics, Mr. Speaker, for no reason. Because when NIC borrowed Cabot monies, Mr. Speaker, and the political surrogates and everybody, Mr. Speaker, made so much fuss about lending, but that was a sound investment. Mr. Speaker, Cabot was so concerned. They closed the loan in 2 years. You know how much NIC got for that 2 years? $2.4 million. $2.4 million for 2 years. Had that loan gone to the length of the original facility, they would have made $12 million easy. And these are the kind of investments we need to supplement the NIC. So we need to stop these political things when it comes to some of our state institutions because we know better. And I know you know better, Mr. Prime Minister, because that's your field. That's your field. You know these things. So, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to raise that because I'm very concerned as it relates, Mr. Speaker, to, I'm happy. Fundamentally, I'm happy to the people who's going to benefit, Mr. Speaker. But I'm saying there must be a conversation as to now what's going to happen with NIC. Now, are we expecting to see an age increase in the future? I don't know because there's no information on that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when I say that the government did some searching and they, explored some of the things that we were talking about. One of the things I'm talking about, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister in his policy proposal said, effective 1st May, the price of fuel will be capped at $16, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, today, Mr. Speaker, a price of a barrel is $63. In 2019, Mr. Speaker, 2019, a price of a barrel was $75. And we had capped fuel at $13.95 in 2019 when a barrel of fuel costs $75. Today, it is $63, and the Prime Minister has decided to cap $16. Not even $1 you take out, Mr. Speaker. Not even $1, Mr. Speaker. 50 cents. 50 cents. So I'm really hoping the Prime Minister rethinks that, because when that fuel price was going on, we were looking for a bigger drop in that, Mr. Speaker. So I want you to come again with that, Mr. Speaker. I'm very happy, Mr. Speaker, that the Prime Minister has realized the pain that he caused the middle class with regards to the new tax structure. I'm very happy because I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, people would come to me and tell me, I never had to pay inland revenue when I file, and they had to pay inland revenue this year, thousands of dollars, Mr. Speaker. Thousands of dollars. I'm a victim. Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to advise, Mr. Speaker, that the government still looks into this, Mr. Speaker, and provide additional support, Mr. Speaker. Because you will all remember, Mr. Speaker, in your last manifesto, you promised $48,000 would have been the cap. It's a promise not kept. A promise not kept, Mr. Speaker. So are these just promises that will not be kept? We have to look at these things, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. There's also, Mr. Speaker, where the Prime Minister indicated that people who are established as government employees who are daily paid or classified as wage earners will be given permanent employment after 2 years, Mr. Speaker. As far as I'm aware, under the Labour Code, if your contract is applied, if it's broken then, but if your contract is renewed for 2 consecutive terms, you become permanent, Mr. Speaker. So I don't know, that's just something to make people. Mr. Speaker, you'll correct me. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, so that's a wish list, Mr. Speaker, because I was very surprised that the member for Soufrière was not so elated, Mr. Speaker, with the senior citizens' home that was going to come to Soufrière. She should have been jumping high and low time. I didn't hate her. She had to say it for the whole world to hear, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, we know, Mr. Speaker, the Soufrière administrative building, Mr. Speaker, as well. That's something that we, Mr. Speaker, conceptualized under our last administration, but we lost the elections, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister also spoke about period poverty. And that's a good initiative. But my concern? This is my concern, Mr. Speaker. How is it going to be run? And I really wish, we can come to that point. Because, and I'll tell you why. You see the dignity that can happen if this thing is not run properly? That's my concern. Because I know for a fact the amount of bullying that goes on in schools, Mr. Speaker. Bullying that goes on in schools. And if some of these things are not properly managed, the child can be a victim. And I'm very concerned. Should it be the Ministry of Education? Can it not be the Ministry of Social and Equity? I don't know. I'm just saying there should be a lot more discussion because I'm really concerned about how it's going to be run. Is it the councillors who's going to be in charge? Who's going to know that a child cannot, afford, yeah. So I wanted to raise that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm going through very fast because time is flying, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the government also wishes to pay CSC subjects, 2 more CXC subjects, Mr. Speaker. I can be vexed with that. Mr. Speaker, but, Mr. Speaker, there is a but, Mr. Speaker. I have a problem in the government paying 2 extra CXC subjects for the member for Castries South East. They can afford it. South East, whichever. You can afford it, Mr. Speaker. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, at this time, we really look at who really requires this thing, Mr. Speaker. Okay? No. They are vulnerable. Let me tell you know why I'm telling you that? Listen to why I'm telling you that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in my constituency, there are parents who cannot pay no subjects. Okay?
They should get more.
So I am saying you have to identify these children who cannot pay any, Mr. Speaker, and increase.
4 is not enough.
Mr. Speaker, I go on to Mr. Speaker. It's amazing, when we on this side speak, the amount of interruptions. When you're speaking, I make sure I listen attentively, attentively, Mr. Speaker. It's not right. I mean, fortunately, there's one member that's not there, but, you have made it even worse, But, Mr. Speaker, there's one, Mr. Speaker, which I'm also concerned about, and that is Prime Minister spoke to removing the taxes on goods that are controlled. I think it was price control goods, Mr. Speaker. Here's the concern I have, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister should know, and if he does not know, the member for Soufrière, Minister of Commerce, can advise him. You cannot do that unilaterally, okay? Based on the Treaty of Chaguaramas, Mr. Speaker, this must be approved by COTED, particularly if the goods are produced within the region. If the goods are produced within the region, and in your note you mentioned cornflakes. So if cornflakes is produced in Trinidad and you want to bring cornflakes from America, you cannot take out the duties on the cornflakes from America because Trinidad will have a problem with it. Income duty, 0.5. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Speaker.
If that's the case, he took it out before.
So, Mr. Speaker, let me quickly address some issues in my community, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, during my time in office in government, there are a number of land acquisitions that were made, Mr. Speaker. Land were acquired in La Pointe, Delse. Did the member for Denry say I said that last time? Right, we can. La Pointe, Delse, Monsien, Newfield, and Lafargue, Mr. Speaker. And the reasons, Mr. Speaker, a number of them was to regularize housing, as has been spoken about there with regards to giving people title, Mr. Speaker. And it's something that we did, Mr. Speaker, for several people while we were in office. Some of them was also, there have been lands that have been identified as plain fields for so long, and they were never acquired, Mr. Speaker. So that was done. Green spaces was one of the reasons why we also acquired some property. Various economic activity, Mr. Speaker, and also to preserve our patrimony, Mr. Speaker. And by now you'd know that I acquired the 2 sugar mills in Choiseul for that, and also there were major plans as to what we would have done there, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have not heard anything from this government, and I feel the government needs to recognize every single community when it comes to, Mr. Speaker, doing things for the communities. And Choiseul Saltibus should not be left out. The member for Ancillary Canneries promised me in his next contribution, he will tell me why the HRDC were not open in PI and in Roblo, Because this morning I paid close attention when the member for Castries South was speaking, and he said the importance of these facilities. And a lot of us have spoken about the importance of these facilities. The member for Choiseul said he opening one just now. And it is not me. That's been the people are waiting for that, Mr. Speaker, and we should not be. And Blusher also has one that has not been opened, Mr. Speaker. And these things have been lying there for over a year, Mr. Speaker. We must put an end to that thing. The people need their community centers, Mr. Speaker. The Minister of Infrastructure is not there, but I hope he gets the message, Mr. Speaker. I have raised to his attention that there are two communities that require Bailey bridges urgently, and that is Daba and Cafe, Mr. Speaker. They're Bailey bridges, they have said they have that in abundance, Mr. Speaker. We had a discussion up to a day like today, nothing, Mr. Speaker. I'm hearing roads being built all over the place. I'm seeing list of roads, Mr. Speaker. I would like to indicate some of the roads that I believe in Choiseul should be given some attention and priority, Mr. Speaker. Okay? And Mr. Speaker, many of these roads have been spoken to. In fact, the Ministry of Infrastructure sent a note as to some of the roads I would like to make priorities, which I did, Mr. Speaker, 3 years ago, and nothing has been done. The Dibrel to Montet Road, which is a ring road that can be used in the event there's obstruction of traffic on the main highway, Mr. Speaker. The Mongoose-Lewish Road, Mr. Speaker. Boaden, we require crash barriers in Daba, Mr. Speaker. The Opak Road, Mr. Speaker, they have been promising to finish it, Mr. Speaker. The Monjak Road, Mr. Speaker, I would really want, Mr. Speaker, that this thing is addressed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want two more points before I close, Mr. Speaker. There's something that concerns me very much, Mr. Speaker, and that is, before we demitted office, Mr. Speaker, we had started what is called a bungalow farming village. We identified 20 acres of land, Mr. Speaker, and it was really and truly to empower young people, in particular women, in agriculture, Mr. Speaker. Approximately 20 acres of land was identified. We, in bungalow in Choiseul, Invest and Lucia invested $200,000 in infrastructure. They bought pipes, they bought a major pump station for us. We built a pump station, Mr. Speaker. This government has come in, Mr. Speaker, and there has been no push on this, Mr. Speaker. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I'm hearing that the Minister of Housing wants to take over that land for another purpose, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in this modern age, Mr. Speaker, mechanized farming is the way to go, and that's flat, maybe the most fertile land in Choiseul. I would like the government to rethink whatever plans they have for that area and to make sure that we leave this area for farming, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Investment also, when he came in, he would have found a program in place called Boost, Mr. Speaker, the Boost program. And Mr. Speaker, the Boost program, Mr. Speaker, I believe when the member came in, he realized how good this program was, and he said to the Prime Minister, here's your youth economy, and he just passed it on. Because this Boost program was set up to create real entrepreneurs, Mr. Speaker. Young entrepreneurs enrolled in the program will be provided with comprehensive training and ongoing support in corporate governance, accounting, financial management, marketing and general administration, and operations. Every entrepreneur would be assigned a mentor carefully selected from a pool of very successful St. Lucians skilled in various areas. To add to that, Mr. Speaker, we had the grant loan facility at SLDB to support that, Mr. Speaker. There was an ecosystem that was created. That was a wonderful program, Mr. Speaker. Now, I understand you may have just changed the name, Mr. Speaker, you know, but...
Just like community tourism. Where was that?
You know, the member said he didn't, but you need to speak to the people in your ministry, Mr. Speaker.
Kill it.
Mr. Speaker,
Kill it.
I would really also want the member for Choiseul, Minister of Sports, to speak to why Choiseul has not received the batting nets, Mr. Speaker. That was promised by himself, Mr. Speaker. I hope he speak to that. I hope he speak to that. I hope he speak. The batting? Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to ask the Prime Minister one more thing before I leave, Mr. Speaker. The Easter passed, and we realized there was no STEP program, Mr. Speaker. And I don't know if you're looking to have a major STEP program very soon, Mr. Speaker. And I'm really hoping, because our roads, Mr. Speaker, we talk about that, yeah. But stop giving me pittance, sir. Stop giving me pittance to clean the road, because it's not me. This show. Stop. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I really hope that the contribution I made here would have made the Prime Minister and the team rethink some of the things that they had in the policy proposals, Mr. Speaker, because I really believe some of these things were just put out there, Mr. Speaker, to glamorize an address, Mr. Speaker. But as to the practicality, whether there's consultation, I'm very concerned about that, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, with that, Mr. Speaker, I wish to say good evening and thank you very much.
I want to answer.
I have cricket.
Mr. Speaker, I want to answer.
Member for